So recently, the government has released the data on the household consumption expenditure survey. Okay, and that is why this is of course in news. At the same time, it is in news with one particular concept of economy, that is inflation. We will see what is the relation of inflation with respect to this survey data. Now first, let's start with the household consumption expenditure survey. Now the data for this is released for the first time in 11 years. Okay, so released for the first time in 11 years. What does this mean? Does it mean that this survey is done once every 11 years? No. This survey is done. So if you talk about the frequency, the survey frequency is of 5 years. Then why is it been released after 11 years? That is because the survey which was done in 2017, the data for that was withheld. So 2017 data was withheld. And now the data that has been released for the first time in 11 years is of 2022-23, which has been recently released. Also, whenever you're talking about any survey, any report, any index, you need to understand who brings that out. So this particular household survey data is brought out by the National Statistical Organization. All right, National Statistical Organization. So what are the findings? There are two very important peculiar findings of this survey. That is, number one, this survey says that the data of this survey says that there has been a considerable increase in the consumption expenditure, the monthly per capita consumption expenditure. So there has been an increase in MPCE. What is MPCE? MPCE is the monthly per capita consumption expenditure. Also remember, since the 2017 data was not out, whatever the comparison would be here would be with respect to the 2011-12 data, as in a decade old data, right? So while comparing with the decade old data, there is an increase in the monthly per capita consumption expenditure, and this increase is considerable. If you talk about the magnitude for rural areas, it is 2.6 times, and when it comes to urban areas, it is 2.5 times. So there is increase in both rural as well as urban area. One important thing is the increase in rural area is more than the increase in the urban area. Almost similar but slightly more in rural areas. So that is another good sign that in rural areas the increase is even higher, right? So that is one important aspect. What is another aspect of the data which has come out? Now this data says that the percentage of food consumption expenditure, percentage of food consumption expenditure as a, or let's say just mention food consumption expenditure as a percentage of MPCE. Food consumption expenditure as a percentage of MPCE has gone down, or you can say decreased. So does it mean that food consumption expenditure itself has gone down? No. Food consumption expenditure has also gone up, but as a percentage of the monthly per capita consumption expenditure, it has gone down. Let us understand how. So we'll again, this data, remember the household data consists of data separately for rural, separately for urban, and then it combines to give a total picture also. So for rural, from around 52%, it has gone down to 46%, and for urban from 42.6%, so round about 42, from 42.6% it has gone down to 39%. Okay, so there is a decrease in food consumption expenditure as a percentage of MPCE. Earlier in rural areas the expenditure on food was 52% that of MPCE, and in urban area it was 42.6%, 42.6% of MPCE. So now they have gone down. Now in rural area it is 46, and in urban area it is 39. So you can see rural has also come down below 50, less than half. Earlier it was more than half, and for urban it was already less than half. It has further gone down to 39%. So this is again another important data. So, and it is this particular data of food consumption expenditure which has started or initiated the discussion of inflation with respect to the household consumption expenditure survey. So now let us understand what this discussion is all about. I have not deleted this. This is still there. This is important. This is the data on which our discussion will now be held. So there is a concept of inflation. Now let us understand what discussion is going on. The discussion that is going on is what is the extent of food items in inflation. Okay, what is the extent of food item in inflation? That is the discussion that is going on. So to understand that, let us first understand inflation. One more important thing is this household consumption expenditure data, when it comes out, it actually helps you to calculate various things. It helps you in calculating poverty. It also helps you in calculating inflation and the different components of inflation, how much role they play, right? And because of this particular data, it is now being discussed what is the extent of food items in inflation. So first, let us understand what is inflation. Okay. So whenever we see any price rise, let's say the prices of onions have gone up, is that inflation? No. Just the prices of onions going up is not inflation. Just the prices of pulses going up is not inflation. So then what is inflation? Inflation is a sustained increase. A sustained increase. What do we mean by that? It should not happen that today the prices went up, tomorrow it went down. That should not be the case. It is just a bit of volatility. It's not a sustained increase. So whenever there is an increase, it should be there for some sustained amount of time. So it's a sustained increase. Sustained increase in what? Sustained increase in the prices of a basket. Sustained increase in price of a basket of goods and services. So remember, it's a sustained increase in what? In the price of what? Basket of goods and services. So it is not just the increase in one particular good or one particular service, but the entire basket of goods and services as a whole should increase in price. Now what is this basket of goods and services? This basket of goods and services consists of various goods and service, right? If you talk about this basket for rural area, consists of around 448 goods and services. In urban area, it consists of around 460 goods and services. This can vary if we change the basket, but right now this is what it contains. So it may have pulses, it may have onions, it may have various other things also. So onions price may go up, pulses price may go up, but the prices of other things may come down. So the overall impact may be decreased. So we have to consider the entire basket of goods and services and not one single product. Clear? That will be your inflation. Now, this basket of goods and services will consist of what? It will consist of food as well as non-food items. It will consist of food as well as non-food items, right? So, and some amount of weightage would be given to them. So, this entire basket, if you talk about it, is 100%, right? Now, out of this 100%, some weightage is given to food item, some weightage is given to non-food item. Now, this is the important point. When you talk about this basket, food item is given a weightage of 57% and non-food item is given a weightage of 43% when you are calculating inflation with the help of CPI, that is Consumer Price Index, that is Consumer Price Index. So when you are calculating inflation, in this basket of goods and services, it is taking 57, it is giving 57% weightage to food items and only 43% weightage to non-food items for calculating your CPI, that is the Consumer Price Index. So now can you see what the problem is? The problem is that while calculating inflation, 57% weightage is given to food items, but the household consumption expenditure survey says that only 46% expenditure in rural areas is on food items, and even considerably lower, only 39% of expenditure is on food items in urban areas, right? So the actual consumption is way below than the weightage that the food items are given. As a result of which we can say that food items play lesser role in inflation as per the household consumption expenditure survey. Food items, they will still play a considerable role. 39% and 46% is still quite a lot. But considered to what weightage it has been given, food items actually play a lesser role in inflation as per the recently released data of the household consumption expenditure survey. And also it plays lesser role than the weightage given in CPI. It also plays a lesser role than what the weightage is given in CPI. So what would be the next logical step forward? The next logical step forward would be to revise the basket with respect to weightage. Weightage of what? Weightage of food and non-food items. So you can probably have weightage closer to 45, around 45%, 40 to 45% over here. You know, it may come down. Prima facie, generally if we see, instead of 47, probably you can have around 40 to 45%. That is around 12 to 17% reduction. Okay. Now, this is just a hypothetical number I am saying. A proper analysis needs to be done, and then a revised weightage of food plus non-food item needs to be brought up. So this is the entire discussion which is about inflation with respect to household consumption expenditure survey.